Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Disneyland Resort update video for February 2023. Starting off first over at Downtown Disney, I wanted to showcase the former Disney Home and Wonderground Gallery locations. There's a lot more construction happening here than we originally had thought. Not sure what the final plans are for this location, but we'll continue to keep an eye out for it. Of course, over at the Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen, the Jazz Kitchen Express has sort of reopened in a temporary front location, still selling the famous beignets if you wanted to go get those. Over at the Disneyland Resort monorail station in downtown Disney, some of the construction walls have come down and it really looks like they just kind of widened the pathways here, but I'm not real sure as to what the final project is, if they are shortening the planter or what. There's still a lot of construction left over in this area, so we'll have to wait and see kind of what fully happens once all the walls come down. Heading next over to Disneyland Park, I wanted to showcase the all-new Mickey statue, which we talked about in my Disney 100 video as part of the new decor that came for the Disney 100 celebration. Now, this statue originally debuted with an incorrect quote on it from Walt Disney, but it did disappear for a short period and kind of no one knew what happened, but they brought it back with an updated quote, so it is now back in place, and it's definitely looking a little more hollow, a little more shimmery, like it got a different coat of paint on it. A lot of people I talked to thought the same thing, so definitely a lot better for pictures and videos, and PhotoPass photographers were already out taking photos with the statue upon its return as well. Now next I wanted to head over to Adventureland to talk about some of the construction at the Adventureland Treehouse and Indiana Jones Adventure attraction. Now it makes sense as to why Indiana Jones closed during this time and remained closed for so long, because some of the construction progress for the Adventureland Treehouse has really bled into the outdoor queue for Indiana Jones Adventure, so it's clear they needed to work on something and it required to have this attraction closed. Now, Indiana Jones in and of itself needed some renovations as well too, so it really just worked out well. Of course, we have a reopening date for Indiana Jones of spring of 2023, but that can go anywhere all the way up until June, so we'll have to wait and see what spring actually means and when they plan to open this attraction after its refurbishment. Next, headed on into New Orleans Square, we talked in previous update videos about the French Market quick service restaurant closing in Disneyland Park to make way for the all-new Tiana's Palace quick service restaurant coming to replace this location. Now, it has officially closed. It is past February 17th, so the location is completely covered in walls as the renovation begins, and Disney has highlighted the artwork for the new and upcoming location on the outside of the construction walls. Now, these have spread far out into the pathways, but there is still access along the backside by the New Orleans train station, as well as those rear bathrooms if you're wanting to head that direction too. Now, the beignets and mint julep bar is also closed. However, they have temporarily began serving not only the mint juleps, but the famous Mickey beignets over at the Royal Street Veranda. But keep in mind, there are long lines here as well for the beignets and the mint juleps, but you can still mobile order at this location, but time windows do fill up quickly, so make sure to prioritize that if those are items you want to get during your next visit. For the last half of this update video, I wanted to head over to Disney California Adventure Park to show you some updates over there, starting off first over on Buena Vista Street. The Disney 100 large medallion on Buena Vista Street that was installed for the Disney 100 celebration. We've showed that here before on this channel, but they did tease that some of the decor or some of the statues would be interactive with Disney Magic Band Plus, sort of like how the 50th statues were over in Walt Disney World, but we just never really saw that after the celebration first kicked off. However, the weeks since the kickoff, they've begun to change and add some flourishments to the different decor that indicate Magic Band interactivity is coming, like this here on the Buena Vista Street medallion, showing you speakers being added, plants being added, so there's definitely going to be some sort of musical moment or sound moment. Not sure if it's going to be triggered by Magic Band Plus. Maybe it's just a nighttime thing. We'll have to wait and see, but it definitely has received some additional embellishments. We might see something like this come to the Mickey statue, the Minnie statue over in Disneyland, so we'll keep an eye on these things as well to see if there's any new added things for Disney 100, especially if they relate to Disney Magic Band Plus. Lastly, over in Avengers Campus, they are celebrating the release of the all-new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania with some new offerings, including this one, which is going to be the Ooze Cauldron Sipper, available exclusively at the PIM Test Kitchen location in Avengers Campus. Now, you can mobile order this item, or you can purchase it in person. It's going to set you back $27.79 plus tax, but this particular sipper is one that includes a special, unique drink to the sipper, where instead of just coming with like a soda or something like that, the drink is called the Quantum Ooze. It is a non-alcoholic drink, and it's very thick in consistency, more like a syrup almost, and it has a sour cherry, really sugary taste, and it's very, very red. It's like blood red, so keep it away from any white shirts. But it's definitely worth a try, and if you've seen the movie, it's so realistic to how it's portrayed in the movie. I won't spoil anything else besides that, so definitely check that out if you're a fan of the movie and wanted to pick this up. It's only while supplies last, and it is available in limited quantities. In addition to the Quantum Ooze, there was very, very limited merch available for this movie. At the time of opening weekend, which is when I visited Disneyland Resort, they only had a few items, including all of the Funko Pop figures from the movie itself, as well as a Disney collectible pin, but that was really all that was available, at least for now, for the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. But that wasn't all that they were offering. One last thing, which was really unique and really special, and something that Avengers Campus has just been really great at doing throughout all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe drops, which is debuting an all-new meet and greet character inside Avengers Campus, and this time being Kang the Conqueror. Now, I won't spoil too much for those that haven't seen the movie yet, but Kang is the next supervillain in this current phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he is meeting and greeting with guests in Avengers Campus, what seems like on a daily basis, but no real set time to give you as far as in the app when you can look it up. You can sometimes ask the cast members in Avengers Campus, but they might not always have a clear answer as to when you'll see him. Now, we saw him come out on the first day that he arrived, which was going to be Friday, February 17th. He showed up for the first time in the land just after 2 p.m. and came out about every hour or so throughout the rest of the night until he was no longer out anymore. So it was definitely mid-afternoon and through the evening. I would say closer to nighttime, you probably won't see him anymore, but definitely check with the cast members in Avengers Campus to get a better idea if you're wanting to meet and greet with Kang and get your photo before you head out. Well, that wraps up this Disneyland Resort update video, but there's definitely more on the horizons as we're looking forward to the Magic Happens Parade returning this week to Disneyland Resort on Friday, February 24th. And of course, into the future, a little more for the return of the California Food and Wine Festival coming back to Disney California Adventure Park starting March 3rd. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button on this video and leave a comment below, as it really does help me out, and consider subscribing to the channel as I'm going to have more upcoming content like I mentioned. And I also have a podcast called the 5571 Podcast available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you may listen to your podcasts. And I'll leave a link to description below about where you can subscribe. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.